Instead of console logging the remaining time, what I'd like to do is to show this progress in the progress bar. That is a component that don't have access to the countdown component. Remember that here in the main component, I have on one side this app progress bar component, and on the other this app countdown. They don't have access between them. So let's move to the countdown component and let's create a couple properties with the output decorator, because we will emit the current count and also the countdown end. So first we need to import this output, and then we can define those properties with the output decorator. On decrease, in case we are decreasing the counter, you need to initialize it like an EventEmitter. In this case, it will be type number because it will be returning the count. Of course, you also need to import this EventEmitter from Angular Core. And then we're going to do exactly the same with the other event that tells me that the countdown has finished. On complete, the same, a new EventEmitter. In this case, returning void, and this way we have both outputs. The same way I had an input, now I can access this on complete and on decrease from the template, but in this case, those will be associated with functions, and those functions will be called from the same component. So here in process countdown, I want to change those comments. First, this emit event count, I want to change it by this dot on decrease dot emit. It's very important to put this emit, don't forget it, and sending the value this dot counter. Remember that on decrease returns an event emitter of type number. And then this other comment, I want to change it by this dot uncomplete dot emit, and in this case I'm not emitting any kind of value because when I'm sending this event I'm just saying my countdown has finished. So your counter is emitting the real countdown, and what you need is on its container app component has app countdown, so in app component yes, what I'm gonna do is to create a couple properties to handle this counter progress of type number, I init it to 0, and the total countdown that will store the initial value. I will default it to 15. I also need to create a couple methods that will be called through those bindings. So on one side I want to update the counter, and the other side I want to know when the countdown has finished. So first I create this update progress with an $event argument, and here what I do is to update the counter of the parent component, counter progress. So this counter progress is equals to this total countdown less $event divided between this total countdown and multiplied by 100. Why? Well, because this counter progress, what it have to do is to return the remaining percentage to the end of the countdown. That's where I take the maximum countdown, I subtract the current countdown, I divide it by the total another time and multiply it by 100. Okay, also countdown finished. This is the function that I will associate to the onComplete method. And here I simply console log countdown has finished. Okay, great. You have a component that is emitting events. His parent component, where this one is placed, is able to receive those events, have some methods to handle with them. The only thing we have to do is to update the template. App countdown has this init value. Right now it's not gonna be a fixed value, but it will be the property total countdown. Then I need to add a binding with the brackets. So now every time this property total countdown is updated, the init value will be updated too. I'm gonna add also an event binding to onDecrease. I've said that onDecrease is one of those properties, but it's an output property. And what I have to do is an event binding. So I need the parenthesis and I bind it to this update progress $event that is a method of my own component. So I'm associating this method update progress to every call that is made to onDecrease. So onDecrease will call this update progress, and I do exactly the same with onComplete, and in this case onComplete will call countdown finished. Remember also to update the binding of the progress bar. This won't be a fixed value, but it will be a property binding of the counter progress property. Okay, if we go to see the results, I reset the counter and check it out. It starts on 15, starts counting. More important, the progress bar is updating also. And the progress bar don't have any kind of direct connection with this counter. The counter is doing the countdown on one side. This counter is emitting the events on decrease and on complete. Those methods are linked with update progress in the parent component that updates the variable counter progress, and this way we are passing this updated variable to our progress bar. So at the end, what I have achieved is just to bind the information between those two components through the parent. So now I have a view with this countdown. However, it is separated into several components, this progress bar and the countdown component.